musical.
Yeah.
That's not my name.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Really?
Yeah. I don't disagree with the things, with like the ideas that you brought up and will bring up, but it didn't like bug me.
I was bored.
Oh, I was not bored.
I was bored a lot.
I was not bored at all.
Like,
mostly because I was like, what's
happening? I thought it was going to be more outrageous.
Well,
more blood, more drama. I don't know.
I mean, they weren't, especially when you hear about those people waiting to redo the show,
right.
the creators.
Right.
They didn't want to go full camp.
Absolutely.
Because people wanted to do it that way.
Yeah.
And for years and years they were like, no.
Right. So they just
and
made
they wanted
it boring.
to try to fix it.
They made it boring.
I don't I don't think it was boring. I don't think it was less campy. I think it was a different kind of campy. I don't think it cannot be campy.
Well, absolutely. It definitely was campy. I think my biggest problem with the show, among many, is that you don't spend enough time developing Carrie. There's like no... I mean, come on. It's Carrie. There's that song, Carrie. It's all... Her name's Carrie. It's all about Carrie. And she's literally like... She has that one part at the beginning when she blows the light out in the bathroom. And then she kicks that kid off his skateboard. And then all of a sudden she's just like... killing people. I didn't feel it escalate.
Right.
At all. Like, she wasn't, like, discovering her powers and, like, experimenting with them, really. Like, I didn't get that from the show. I sort of was like, she was sort of like, you know, it was like high school, and she was like, I can move things. And then high school, and then she was like, ah! You know what I mean?
I do. I very quickly realized, oh, this show's not about Carrie, and then I was on board.
No, but why is it called Carrie?
I don't know.
She says,
because
Carrie, Carrie.
I didn't care because the rest of it was just nonsense, and I was enjoying the nonsense. And I was like, oh, that kind of character. Yes, I've seen you in movies before.
Well, here's the thing. I either wanted it to be worse or better.
Right.
It wasn't bad enough that I enjoyed it being bad, and it wasn't good enough that I enjoyed it being good.
But I also sort of knew they weren't going to make it as bad. They were going to do everything they could to not make it as bad as we would want it to be.
Absolutely. That I knew that they were going to try their hardest to make it good, which I know is also a recipe for making things bad.
Yeah.
When you're like trying so hard to make it earnest, like to make it legitimately good, that's like the perfect recipe for making something horrible.
Yeah.
When you're trying to make it really, really good.
And again, I don't think it was horrible.
Right.
I don't think, because of the subject matter, and maybe also because of the history behind it, I don't know that you could do this show without snickering.
Well,
Without people snickering.
Absolutely.
Like,
oh God, I thought the music was so bad.
That music, listen, one song in that show had structure. One song had verse, chorus. Like the duet, You Shine, was a duet between Tommy and Sue. And it's like, he sings something, she sings something, they sing the chorus. She sings something, he sings something, they sing a chorus. He leaves, she sings the chorus. Structure, that's a pretty basic song structure. And everything else was like a mismatch of tempos and melodies, and it was like craziness.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like even looking at the song list, and I was completely unfamiliar with the music. The only song I can remember and pull the melody of two songs. One of them I hated, and one of them I actually kind of liked. Obviously, Carrie. I did not like that song. And The World According to Chris, which I did like. I thought it was fun and spunky. But gosh,
see,
the lyrics in all the songs I feel like I could write them and I could not write. You know what I mean? Like, I can't write lyrics, but I could write these lyrics where they literally, like, they were so literal.
Even The World According to Chris, which I enjoyed a lot, mostly because she sang the shit out of it.
Yeah.
There was, like, weird tempo shifts in the middle of it, and I, like, when her boyfriend started singing, and I was like, what? This song was doing what a song is supposed to do. And then it just, everything, I don't know, that, oh my god, Do Me a Favor, that song was nutso.
I don't even remember.
I thought it was the Act 1 closer, and then there was the scene, it's when Sue's asking Tommy, it's like a weird trio, okay, this is what's happening. Sue's asking Tommy to take Carrie to the prom.
Right.
And then Chris is asking her boyfriend to help her set up Carrie.
Right.
And then the chorus is acting as the third part of the trio. And they're just singing nonsense. At one point they're counting down, and I don't know what they're counting down to.
Right, I do remember that, where they were just
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And I was like, what are you guys counting down to? I didn't know. Maybe I missed it after 1. Maybe they said what they were counting. I didn't catch it. But I thought that was the Act 1 closer, and then there was the scene between Carrie and her mom, where she tells her she's going to prom.
Right. You know what I think would have made it all better for me? Is if the death scene was more of everything. More blood. I thought the red light worked really well. I thought they should have just dumped fake blood on her.
I thought the red light worked really well too, but then when she came in with the blood on her, I was like, what's the point?
Why didn't you just do
I'm
that?
I'm sure you could have figured out a way to not make a huge mess.
Or just make a huge mess and clean it up.
Well, right, but
just dump blood all over that stage every night. I don't know why you can't do that.
I'm sure there's a good reason why you can't.
I mean, listen, I think that obviously, you know, it's off-Broadway, and obviously the show has a history with flopping, with lots of money lost. But that scene, I really thought the death scene just needed more money in it. And a bigger theater, that I was like, I want bitches to be flying. I want some people in harnesses. I want there to be blood everywhere. I remember, I've still only seen the movie once, and I remember it very vividly. Like the part where somebody's like trying to get out the door and she makes a table slide over and cut them in half. You know, like they could have done that on stage if they had more money. So producers, put more money in Carrie again.
Yeah. Well, MCC is also a non-profit though, isn't it? I think so.
I mean, I get, like, while I was watching it, well, once it ended and I realized it was already over, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, I mean, I get it, you don't have the money to do it, but I was like, that was kind of a letdown. Because the whole show, I was like, waiting for that scene. But I will give them this, which is not necessarily the production, but just my bad memory, was that I forgot the ending, the final ending, spoiler alert, when her mom kills her.
Yeah.
So I forgot that happened. I remember the part, I remember in the movie her coming home and making the house collapse into the ground. But when Marin Mazzie pulled that knife out, I was like, I thought that Molly Ranson was awesome. Yeah. She was fantastic. I thought that Molly really embodied the Sissy Spacek-ness. I don't really know how to describe it. Because she, when you look at a picture of Molly, I don't think she really looks like Sissy Spacek. But when she was on stage, and maybe it was the costume, and just the way she held her face, the facial expression she made, were, so dead on. They were amazing. They were awesome. And she's fantastic. Marin Mazzie's mouth could eat the world, is what I want to say. Because
I just watched her whenever she was on stage.
Well, sure, obviously. Anytime Marin Mazzie came on stage, I was eyes directly to her.
Flawless.
Oh, God, please. Flawless.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say I'm sorry that what you were trying to do to make it a real super serious piece didn't work for me, but I'm not sorry that I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know that I could give any advice on how to make it actually work besides rewriting all the music for starters.
Goddamn total spastic and weirdo and dumb bitch.
the framing device was super unnecessary.
Well, that's how the book is done.
Well, it's stupid.